Hi everybody, it's Nikki again, and I'm doing part 2 of the Guardian Connect. It's just talking about the Guardian Connect, the Medtronic MiniMed Guardian Connect. Again, this video is not medical advice, it's just personal experience and a lot of personal opinion. And this was following, as I said in the last video, a few weeks. It was probably about three and a half weeks of wearing the sensor. Which I had received by accident, but put on purpose, and put on with ease and only to find really good results. So I'm in here talking about it. So I did errors, type, and frequency, following capability. This has been a big weakness of Medtronics, and the big question is, you are a Medtronic, so why can't we have followers yet? Like, you should be able to make that happen. The Guardian Connect, even though this is their Bluetooth CGM, if I'm saying that correctly, and even though it does communicate with an Apple phone, it does not allow followers. What it does do is, and it will tell you this as you're setting up your account through their app, it will say to you, care partners can see sensor information remotely by going to CareLink. No need to download a separate app. So I think what that means is that you can't have a follower, and if mom or whoever wants to see your numbers and call you in the middle of the night, they're going to have to go check your reports through CareLink. I always make fun of my mom, but I love that she calls me in the middle of the night. So anyway, the point is, that's a weakness. It would be nice if they could get that up and running so that people could follow. What is interesting, and I'm sure there's a very good explanation for it, but I don't know what it is that my Apple Watch, half of my alerts go through to my Apple Watch. So I do get, it pops up and it'll say Guardian Connect, urgent low, or it'll tell me that my mobile device battery is low. There are a handful of alerts. I don't get all of my low alerts. I don't get rising alerts. But there's some of them that come through, just like there might be some that come through my speaker. So it's a Bluetooth thing. And I know a lot about sensors and not a lot about Bluetooth, so you can see where I'm running into problems. But my point is, I don't have an app on my watch, and yet I get, alerts there. So when people ask, can you get it on your watch, I say some of it, right? Because that's what I can do. But it's magic, and I don't know why. That's my psychotic again. Okay, frequency of updated value. This is just like the Guardian 3, just like the Dexcom. Every 5 minutes it will provide you with a fresh value. The only one that's different in this regard, I have no idea what Eversense does, I guess we'll see, but Libre, you can get a new reading with every swipe. Insertion ease and comfort. Medtronic sensors and inserters have never been my favorite. It continues to not be my favorite because it continues to use the same inserter as the G3. So same inserter, same sensors, same process. It's not my favorite. It's a lot of taping. It's a slightly more, I say slightly because I'm trying to be nice. All of a sudden I'm trying to be nice to Medtronic, but for me it was a significantly more painful insertion. And then you compare that to the G6 and to the Libre, where sometimes I don't even feel it. It can be a little bit tough. And the inserter, by the way, on the Medtronic, maybe other people have better luck with it, but I've always had a pressure problem with the buttons, and so sometimes it takes me 4 times before I get it to actually go. And by the 4th time, I'm pushing hard, and it's an unnecessary description. I'm just saying that inserter ease and comfort is kind of scoring low still. Overall ease of use, that part is the one that it's a little mind-numbing. I like the Medtronic MiniMed Guardian Connect. I like it. I like it as a sensor. And in fact, once I got it up on my phone, I knew what I was doing with it. I was going to experiment with it, and I was going to laugh about it. Like, that was my plan. But what I found was continuously, regularly, I was going to it to double check my Dexcom, and I was going to my Dexcom to double check it. but I've never used my Medtronic to double check anything. So this was, all of a sudden it was there, and it was something I could use to make sure I knew what was happening. And that has not been the case for me for Medtronic. And in fact, it was my biggest complaint about the 670G was that if this is what is powering the decisions, if this is what's making decisions, then I don't stand a chance. But if they can get the Connect to work, if they can get the Connect to work with the next one, then maybe it's gonna go better. I said that 12 times now. Potential of use for treatment, it still is not, it's still not allowed to be used. That's my mom. Heart